one of the greatest lessons of humanity is presented here in Crossy Road. I'm not kidding. First, I'll set the scene. This is the Pecking Order. It's a daily, never-ending competition. The objective is to get the highest score. Or is it? Considering that the last major update to Crossy Road was 9 months ago, there hasn't been much for me to do in this game. I already unlocked all of the characters, and I have amassed a huge collection of coins. To which one impulse response might be, "Well, I have more coins than you," while another reply might be, "It's for the bragging rights of first place." Well, I have gotten first place before, in the Pecking Order. While that was helpful when unlocking characters, that doesn't do much for me now. Also, bragging rights? I don't like that. It doesn't make me feel good simply because I beat other people. That's a disturbing trait in some dangerous people. They may be rich, they may be powerful, but it's never enough. They want more. All the while, they're just spreading misery to the people around them. That's how we get wars. So, how can we change that? I think Crossy Road should have a daily cooperative event, where working together with people is what leads to prizes. That is theoretically possible with the game in its current state. Although it might be considered cheating by the developers, and it could be quickly patched. So, if you play the Pecking Order, the goal is to get the top score. However, what if 2 players, or more, get the same score? Well, they get the same prize. Do you see where I'm going with this? By getting the exact score as someone else, I'm not spreading misery. I haven't lowered anyone in rank that wasn't already lowered. Yet, I'm getting the same reward as the player or players that did it before me. What if everyone did that? What if everyone said, "I'm not going to fight anymore. I'm not going to participate in a system that forces me to harm my fellow gamers"? It sounds crazy, but what if there was a temporary truce in the Crossy Road Pecking Order, even for just one day? What if everyone said, "We're not going to fight"? Something like that has happened before in history. During World War I, there was the Christmas Truce. After 5 months of brutal battles, both sides stopped fighting on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Wikipedia says there were joint burial ceremonies and prisoner swaps, while several meetings ended in carol singing. When you really think about war, do most of the people that do the fighting actually want to be there? I don't think so. I'm thinking they'd rather be home with their friends and families, possibly playing Crossy Road. It goes back to what I was mentioning earlier, how, for some, it's never enough power, even if others have to suffer to get it. That's the Crossy Road protest. It's saying, no, we're not going to fight. Everyone gets to enjoy the prizes. Here's how it works. Imagine it's the evening of Christmas Eve on the East Coast of the United States, just after the daily Pecking Order reset. But you saw this video and said, "I'm in." You've agreed to reach the target score, 100 points. While you are quite capable of reaching a higher score, you're doing your part to end the madness of pointless competition. If, for some reason, you can't end the game on row 100, simply wait for the eagle or just jump backwards. Yet, the Crossy Road protest will not likely work for many reasons. The first is that Hipster Whale would easily be alerted to this protest and they could change the game accordingly. Sorting tie scores by date would quickly solve that problem. If 2 players get a score of 100, it seems appropriate that the player that first reached that score should be ranked higher. Yet, Hipster Whale could be even more devious. Last Christmas, there was the Santa Claus character. Yet, it wasn't clear if that character could be unlocked. At least, I couldn't figure it out. To break up the protest, Hipster Whale could simply release a new character that requires getting a randomly placed item in the pecking order, but not lower than the protest score of 100 points. Many players would not be able to resist that. But even if Hipster Whale doesn't get involved, it still wouldn't work. While making this video, I knew that I wanted to stop with a score of 100. It was the mission of this video, and yet I kept forgetting to stop. Seriously, it happened several times. Simply out of habit, many players will go past 100, even if they're aware of the Crossy Road protest. But it's worse than that. The protest would practically be an invitation to trolls. Since there's no penalty for messing with the protest, there are sinister players that would mess it up just to be spiteful. That is the lesson of humanity. It shows why it's so difficult to achieve a perfect, peaceful, and prosperous world. Even if you could somehow coordinate with billions of people, there are those that would still mess it up, simply out of negligence, greed, or spite. This is terrible, as it would be so much easier for everyone if we could all just work together. By simply doing your part, everyone could unlock all of the token-based characters, and then easily get 200 coins every day. So that's the idea. What do you think? Do you want to try, even though it will likely fail? Will you get a score of 100 points in the pecking order on Christmas Eve into Christmas Day? If so, or if not, you can let everyone know in the comments. Thanks for watching.